So first, let's talk about the history of Objective-C. Well, it was created in 1986 by Tom Love and Brad Cox, and the creation of it was based off of C and Smalltalk. Now, what had been going on in the company that Tom Love and Brad Cox had worked for was that they had a lot of C libraries, and Smalltalk was just coming out and getting popular, and they really wanted to use Smalltalk, but they couldn't just abandon C. So what they kind of did was create a basically a precompiler for C that would give it Smalltalk-like features. So you would write in this language, and then you'd run this precompiler, and they would produce C code, and that would be compatible with all of the C libraries they had. So in that regard, Objective-C is really a superset of C. And what I mean by superset here is that it contains all of the functionality of C. It is the C language plus some. So anything you could do in C, you can do in Objective-C. So you have all of that power behind it. Same thing if you're familiar with C++. C++ kind of had the same concept. They're kind of the same in that way. So then what happened next is Steve Jobs left Apple, as you probably know, to start his company Next. Well, Next really liked Objective-C, Steve Jobs did, and they licensed it, and they started building on Objective-C. And then Objective-C was eventually acquired by Apple. And then you kind of know the story from there. Mac OS X ended up using Objective-C. They based their new operating system on Objective-C, and that's where the Cocoa platform comes from. And then iOS is currently using version 2.0 of Objective-C. It kind of built on that and built off of Mac OS. So that's where Objective-C is now. If you look at this from a historical standpoint, Objective-C was developed in 1986. Compare that to languages like C Sharp and Java, and you can kind of understand why Objective-C is so different, so much more out there than these newer languages. It's really an older language. It's backwards compatible. It's a superset of C, and because of that, it's going to have those nuances. It's going to feel a little bit more like C, a little bit more like Smalltalk, not so much like the newer languages that have come out since then.